What are projects that the public won't see but are still important?
I think one that I'm really excited about that they won't see yet, but that they will eventually see is the council's commitment to reinventing the library. We kicked off a conversation back in the fall about that, and we have hired a new library manager that's been with us a couple months, already making great improvements out there. And in this upcoming budget, we're recommending a few more staff positions over there, as well as programming for that and the Arts Academy. And so I don't think that's going to be anything too drastic quite yet, but really engaging in the community and starting to use the library the way our community wants to use it, rather than it being a place that you deposit a book and take a book out. There's just so many other great ways to use that, and our library managers being able to bring that vision and really working with the great staff that we already had there, but really getting them excited about that and starting to host other things. I mean, we have yoga in the library, and it's kind of like, well, why would you have it there? Why not?
Right. You know, I haven't been to the library in years, but I was there recently.
Okay, good. Glad to hear it.
Because they had Shumash elder Julie Tuamite Stensling, and she gave a wonderful presentation there on the history of the Shumash.
Yeah.
So things like that, you know, and like you say, yoga and all these different things. Times are changing, and the library has to change too, right? With their programming and everything else.
I think the other thing, and again, we talked about it a lot in last year's budget, are those 7 principles overall. And I can't stress enough how important those are to being a good, stable governmental agency for this community, of just being trusted. And we've made progress in all 7 of those principles. So our fund balance, that was one of them, where you want to be at a 16.6%. Well, like I said, we were at 2. We're going to be recommending that you go up to the 16% in this year's budget to the council, and that's just great that we're able to do that. Debt capacity, I guess this is one where I have to thank Mr. Aaron Starr. We can't issue new debt, so he's given us an A in that category.
There you go.
I'll find some positive with that. Budget flexibility, with those increased reserves that we do have a lot more flexibility within the budget to be able to make choices, and that's important for our council and for our community, because choices are important. Just because we're doing something now doesn't mean that we should always do that. And with having that fund balance, we have that flexibility. Our financial performance was one of the other ones. And in our 23 annual comprehensive financial report, it actually showed only a variance of 3.8%, and the goal is 10%. That's specific to the general fund, but that shows we're hitting our targets. If we're saying we're going to do something, we're doing it. And that's really important, to not have these big skews, and 1 year you're at 15, the next year you're at 2. It shows stability within that. So we've made a lot of progress there. Stable management. Our city manager's been here over 5 years now. Our city manager's office in general has been over 5 years. There was a time, and I think Alex did some presentations early on that kind of showed our leadership team and our directors of the turnover that we had. How many public works directors do we have? And there was so much turnover, and that has stabled out. And when you have that stability, you also can start something and hopefully finish it, rather than, oh, we're going to do it this way this time. And within that stable management too, I think really listening to the community and getting the input on the priorities, we're making improvements the way that they wanted improvements in their life. And I think showing that commitment to that, the employee pipeline being an example of that, and then those other priorities. Cybersecurity, touched on that a little bit. That's one of those financial principles. You know, we invested over $3 million in that last year's budget, and that's all in addition to the ERP system that we're doing, because that's not really cyber so much, but it does make us stronger. This year we're recommending another $5 million. So you can't see those things, but they are vital to protecting this community and our money and our projects. And the last one, financial reporting. I'm sure you were at some of those council meetings where we had over 100, audit findings, working through all that, and we had another clean opinion.
Yeah.
Those are good words to be able to say, and we actually just took an item to council last night, our financial corrective action plan. This is the 2nd year in a row that we have no new findings and no repeat findings. So times they are changing, and they are changing for the better. A lot of that, again, is the revenue that came in, but a lot of it is the team and the trust from not only the community, but from the team that we have internally. So you don't get to see those things, but they are important, and it's exciting to be part of it. And am grateful, so grateful to have this job and be part of something like this for this community.
Good. And, it's amazing what you can do when you have money, right? Like,
Yes, yes.